how your subconscious mind manipulates you. That's a quite strong title, though I think this video deserves this title. My name is Marco Sander, I'm a German psychologist, and I would like to introduce you into the topic of your subconscious part within your brain and what it is doing with you. So if you would guess how much we do throughout a day subconsciously, and if you would be right, then it would be about 15% that we're doing consciously, very consciously, and 85% that we're doing subconsciously. Subconscious things you're doing throughout the days, I mean habits, things you don't really need to put effort into and think about it explicitly. Also labeling and categorizing, judging. Those are all things that happen subconsciously. If you drive to work, it's probably happening subconsciously. Let's not get fixed up too much on this number. The point is just that we do a lot of things subconsciously. And that's great. You know, your body is really made for surviving. And it saves energy, it saves time if you have a lot of habits. And it can be very quick. And you can do much more throughout the day because you don't need to put so much energy in a lot of thinking habits, but also physical habits that you're doing. The thing is that a lot of programs, a lot of thinking programs that you do subconsciously are very helpful, but others are harming. Your subconscious mind mainly learns through repetition and not because it's something right. And that's why there are quite some things in your subconscious mind, quite some things that you do throughout the day that are not fully right, that not help you so much, that not serve you so much throughout the day. Maybe you have an area in your life where you get constantly negative results. And yes, probably there are some habits that sneak into your life that are not giving you great results. What we want to do here is be mindful, reconsider some of those subconscious habits, take them into our consciousness, rethink them, and change them. How do we change them? By reminding ourselves, by repetition. This is how our subconscious mind works, but also by exposing ourselves to experiences, real-life experiences that disprove what we thought so far subconsciously, how we categorize. In fact, I want to talk with you about just two aspects today. And the first thing is about judging others, judging yourself, judging situations. This highly happens subconsciously. Somebody new is coming into the room, judged. He's probably like that, he's probably like that. You judged yourself. I'm not cool. I am shy. This is also a subconscious thing that's going through your entire day. And that's why you also behave this way. You have prejudice towards others. This boy, he's probably not interested in me anyway. Maybe you're a girl. Or maybe you think she's dumb because she talked in a specific way or said something in the beginning that you didn't find very intelligent. Or this is not a nice person I could talk to. This is how you very quickly, within seconds, maybe even quicker, how you judge people and how you judge somebody. And if you do that, you think, okay, this is a person who's not interested in me. I like them very much, I'm kind of in love, but they probably don't like me. And that's now your subconscious program. Now you have this selective perception and you always look for the selective things that teach you, I'm right. Oh, he didn't laugh when I said something. He didn't keep the eye contact. Oh. Do you know when you're looking for a car, you find some kind of car very fascinating? Suddenly throughout the day you see this car so often, all the time. Because now your selective perception is towards that. This guy is not interested in me. My selective perception is towards that. I pick out the things that confirm my thesis. I'm right, I told you. Maybe you're saying, this person is not a nice person talking to. You pick out the right things, and how, if you have this thing you judge subconsciously very quickly, how will you go into this conversation? If you think this is not a nice person talking to, you will not be very nice either. You will probably not be nice, talk quickly, not keeping eye contact, not listening properly, not appreciating the other person properly. And by doing this, just because you thought that way, you don't even know whether it's really true. You will act that way. Because you act this way, this person will be actually not nice to you as well, probably. And then you're saying, told you, I'm right. Tell me, how many times it happened to you when you judge somebody and then later on you realized, wait, I'm actually the one who's not the nice person talking to. I'm actually the wrong person here. This happened quite often. You're having a lot of prejudice throughout the day towards everybody, yourself, others, situations, things that you don't like. Maybe you do. And you know, often those prejudices are right, but sometimes not. And this is what can really make it or break it in a lot of situations. Also, subconsciously, you think highly short term. Maybe something happens in your life that for now looks shitty and negative. Something negative happened. You missed the train. Somebody broke up a relationship with you. And then you instantly, without really thinking deliberately about it, instantly judge it, that's bad. You think very short term. What you could do in a situation if you missed the train, think that, oh wait, I realize I'm just getting a little bit negative here. I just realized that. Make it a little bit conscious. The last minute I was really pissed and it's more like a subconscious thing, but I realized it. Is it actually bad? This is actually a real life example of mine. I missed the train and then I was just about to go to the gym and then I realized, wait, I just ate something. My stomach is still quite full. I think it's nice to wait 10 more minutes to actually go to the gym, and it wasn't like that. But I really had to make it conscious, think about it, reframe it, and realize this is just a negative program that's subconsciously happening in your mind because my program is missing a public transportation is bad. Well, maybe it's not. Let's say even it is bad. How does it help me to have a negative program and think, shit, this is bad? I mean, I can't change anything about the situation now. Of course, I will learn about it. Next time I maybe check when the trains will leave. But being in a bad mood now just because I'm late for 10 minutes to the gym is not a reason to be in a bad mood. And that's why the consciousness is sometimes very important. Rethink it, and maybe by really reminding yourself over time, having those experiences and realize, wait, it's nothing bad that happened. You can reprogram yourself, and the next time when you miss a public bus, a public train to some random stuff such as going to the gym, you're not in a negative mood at all because you don't have this program. You should more change it and think, yeah, whatever, I'm just doing something else. I have my book with me, that's great. Now I can read and reframe that. Because the subconscious mind likes to go into the negative. Why? 2,000 years ago, negative situations were highly dangerous. It's good to generalize and say, if I see those kind of people, I'm staying away because it's a safe way. If you're not safe, it's uncertain, you will probably die. But nowadays it's not happening like that anymore. And we're stuck in this negative thinking loop, which is not really getting us ahead. Okay, so about judging others, yourself, situations. Let's talk about something else quickly, about cognitive biases. Cognitive biases are basically shortcuts in your brain. It goes quicker, and it goes quicker, but it's also less effort, and it's subconscious. It's not like you have to deliberately think about something. It goes very quick. And I just want to make one example here. It's a self-serving bias, which often happens due to a cognitive dissonance. A cognitive dissonance is you have two thoughts in your brain which are like not really going well hand in hand together. And then you resolve this often subconsciously, and that resolves in having a certain attitude which is not the best attitude you could maybe have or the right attitude. And this all happens subconsciously. Let's make an example. There's actually a study that they took. They took participants, single participants, and they did an exercise for 1 hour, a task which is highly boring. And after the task, after this 1 hour, They said, hey, this experiment, it's very important that people who do this task before they come in the room, they think it's a very interesting task. So can you please now go out of the room? There's another participant waiting. Tell him, hey, it's a really nice and interesting task, and then go home. In fact, I will give you $1 if you do that, just as an incentive. It's just for our research here. So basically, we're asking the participant to lie that this is a great exercise. They did that. With another group, they did exactly the same, but they gave them $20 to do that, which is quite a lot in this situation. Now, the funny thing is, after they told the participants that it's a nice task, they actually had to come back and evaluate the experiment in general, and also tip how much did they tick multiple choice, how much did they like the task itself. And the funny thing is that people who only got $1, this is the one thought, and had to lie, and here's the cognitive dissonance, like lying for $1 is not like really making sense. They resolved this dissonance subconsciously into a self-serving bias and said, yeah, well, it's because it's not a boring task. Actually, it was an interesting task. I didn't lie for $1. It was actually interesting. So those people who just get $1, basically later on, they said, yeah, it was actually more interesting than those people with $20, because they didn't have the dissonance. It's $20, it's quite a lot of money. That's fair. I can be okay with lying for $20. It was actually a very boring task. But those people with $20 take that it was very boring. Those people with $1 got $1. They ticked in general in a way that it was more interesting to them. And if you ask them, nobody had a clue that this actually influenced their decision making. It was all subconsciously. And suddenly you have a different opinion about something because of a cognitive dissonance. Just because you want to be right, or you don't want to have this dissonance in your mind. Which just again shows that you think you are very rational and you make rational decisions. But most, maybe even all, but most decisions we make, which we think are rational, actually are emotional. There's the saying, we decide emotionally, but then we kind of use the arguments rationally to put it in the right direction, which we already decided emotionally. This is just one example. You can Google and do research about cognitive biases. You will find tons of them on the internet, in Google. Just another example of how your subconscious mind can manipulate you. And yes, often those cognitive biases are helpful and sometimes even right, but not always. And this is the thing that I'm trying to tell you here. Subconscious mind can be great. You save time and energy, but rethink some programs, some thinking habits, some limiting beliefs you might have. And some beliefs, and see how much do they help me? Because I want a lot of routines, habits I don't need to think about, but they serve me. And they're not dragging me down, my mood or my results in life. So be aware. And this video is generally just showing you that you're full of shit. And I want you to be aware about this, be okay about this, and accept this. Start to observe more. Realize that the human body, the human mind is made for surviving, but not for being successful or healthy in the long run. And so much change the last years. Evolution is not that fast, but we got to handle some things here. So reflect more, observe more, and try to change your habits here, your thinking patterns, repetitively. Make experiences, question that. In fact, watch the video here on my YouTube channel. It's called Limiting Beliefs, where we really go into how to change those belief systems. And limiting beliefs are usually, they are subconscious, and those are specific types of beliefs that we're going to change here. Watch that. You can also gain a lot of knowledge out of here. This is more about seeing how your subconscious mind is manipulating you, being aware about this. This is the first step. It's 50% of changing. Just being aware how much you are full of shit. It's true.
I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. is fine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.